Hi, I wanted to cover another common question that comes up, which is the use of what type of materials for detection. And most common is a box like this made of wood. Another one is the PVC tubes you see here. The other one is the white box like this, which is made out of plastic. And then the stands, like I have right here, which are newer, and then the scent wheel is another one. I'll start off with discussing wood. The problem we face when utilizing wood is wood absorbs. Wood absorbs good things and bad things. In the case of using a wooden box, the wooden box, which is typically used for your odor, is your hot box. That box is the one that you shuffle around in your lineup. What happens at this box that has target odor in it is the dog many times can either be active at it, scratching and doing things to it, biting at it, things of that nature. In addition to that, the big thing is they salivate all over that box. And that salivation has cortisol in it. Cortisol is something that dogs use to communicate sometimes. They pick up their pheromones and other odors there. When cortisol levels are elevated, it stands out. And there's actually some recent studies regarding this. So this item, this wood, when wood is covered, whether it's this kind of box or any type of wood box, is covered in that saliva with those higher levels of cortisol are going to draw other dogs to pay attention to it. It's also going to give a significant level of odor that's not your target odor when utilizing something made of wood. So there's other things we do, which are the other thing most frequently used are the elbow pipes, such as this, the ones you typically see on various videos, usually used with young dogs. The dog will go up to the pipe, and I'll take this out because usually it's without that. The dog sticks its face into the hole and is fed through the backside of where the pipe's at. This is easier to clean, easier to deal with, but this base is made of wood, and this base will also have a significant level of contaminants to it. However, this whole pipe can come off, we can clean it, we can do much better with it. Another thing I'll discuss in a minute is why or what we see from utilizing ports versus a flat surface. So I'll cover this in another video, but why my pipe has a cover like this versus being like this. I have the ability to make it somewhat sunken in by reversing that cap, but I'll cover that later. The next thing we do, or another option we have, is something like this. This is a metal box. This metal box has this little fastener that slides down in front. So it's a box with a drawer. This drawer, like so, can have odor in the front or odor to the back side of it, so I can add some depth to this. What's nice about this is an environmental thing that the dogs search quite often, which is a seam. Seams are in our environment everywhere, where ports or circle holes aren't as frequent for where contraband or target odor is hidden. But a seam, like a drawer, car door, things like that, is very common. So a metal box like this has an advantage because it teaches the dog to touch. The other part of this is very easy to clean. I can open this up, take this out, clean it, clean the entire box, allowing me to eliminate or reduce the amount of contaminants in there. And I'll add the fact that we understand that your environment is never going to be contamination free. There's always going to be levels of contamination. I want to be able to control it as much as possible, reduce other very strong contaminants such as saliva, reward odor, things of that nature that will draw the dog to focus in on that, or have a more profound odor or overshadowing odor to my target odor. I want my target odor to be the most important, the most valuable, and the most salient in that equation. So a metal box is easy to clean, easy to maintain. Also, dogs who like to get active, it's hard to get active and bite and do something that's metal as opposed to wood. This next item here, again, is very familiar for those in the working dog world. It's the Nipopo or dopamine box, as it's sometimes known as. This one right here is made of HDPE plastic. This box is, again, very easy to clean, very easy to work with, reduces the amount of contamination I might deal with, and so forth. So that's that one. And then, of course, the stands. The stands are another item used. We put odor inside the can. The can can be moved around. The stands can be solo or linked together. But in this application, your odor is in here. There's a lot less contamination. If a dog drools on something, I can just get rid of this can. I can wash this whole thing down, whatever I choose to do, but I'm able to reduce or minimize the levels of contamination that I'm dealing with as opposed to some of the other things that are out there. So I hope that answers some of the questions. These are some of the things that we use. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me. My email is cameron@fordcanine.com, and it'll be linked below.